been a little while since we've all been together. I hope everybody made it through the holiday season unscathed. Karen and I did. We traveled home to Maine for the holiday season. We live in Eastern Tennessee now. We're both from Maine. We traveled home, spent time with family. That was a lot of fun. But we both brought back a head cold with us. So we've been fighting with that. So we're both on the mend. We're headed in the right direction. So we figured we'd get together and make something good to eat. What I got here, what we're making today, I'm going to make what's called frosted flake chicken. I'm sure you've all heard of it. Probably all have made it. I haven't made it or had it for a long time. It's really good, really tasty, and pretty easy to make. It's got flour, just regular flour. I added a little bit of pepper, salt, and garlic to it, just for some flavor. Just a few beaten eggs, whipped eggs, you know, like you're making scrambled eggs. I think there's 3 eggs in there with a little milk. Just whip them up. And over here is frosted flakes, just regular old frosted flakes. Actually, I still got to break these up. When you break these up, you don't need to turn them into dust. You can if you want to. You know, if you don't have any teeth, I guess, you could really smash them up. But you just got to make them like, I don't know if you can see that real good, but not real small, just chunks, I guess. You know, kind of like granola feeling type stuff. Just a simple baking dish. I did put a little oil in the bottom of this just to help this not stick. But, well, these are meaty ones. These are good ones. So we're just gonna put these in the flour, get them coated up real good, like that. Make sure they're coated good. Shake off any extra. And they're going into the egg. Just flip them around in that, get a little egg on them. And then into the cornflakes. Roll them around good in there. You want to get them covered up really good. Make sure it's everything's covered pretty good. I'm going to just put them in our pan. I spoke about Karen and I traveling home, and I'm sure everybody's traveled. Everybody has traveled somewhere, driven to a place, and of course, me being blind, I can't share in the driving part of it. I mean, I can keep Karen company and tell jokes and all that stuff, and that's well and fine, but to drive to Maine from here is 18 hours. And Karen was a trooper through that. She drove the whole way, and all she had needed was a trailer full of freight behind her. She'd have been a long haul trucker. But stuff people don't think about as we're traveling that long of a distance. Of course, you need the bathroom break, you know. So, of course, we'd stop for gas and snacks and have a bathroom break, you know. Most gas stations, you know, side of the road gas station, they don't really have a good, adequate handicap stall. Yes, they have a handicap stall in the bathroom, but a lot of gas stations don't have a separate bathroom. What I'm getting at, so like when we stop somewhere to have a break in the restroom, of course, Karen either has to take me into the ladies' room or she has to come into the men's room. Normally we go in the ladies' room. She'll go in and ask, you know, make sure nobody's in there, and then we'll go in. And if somebody comes in, she warns them that I'm in there. And it works, you know, it works, but it can be a little embarrassing sometimes. But it's some of the struggles, you know, people don't necessarily realize or think about or would even think about unless you're traveling with a disabled person. You don't think about that stuff. Yeah, we got all these in there. My hands are a little messy, but that's all right. We just add a little bit more of this right on top. Make sure they're covered up in good shape. The right bowl? Yeah, that's the right bowl. Bowl on that one. That guy there. Alright. Don't get it all over yourself. This one. Alright. Boy. I got it all over myself, alright. I'm just going to set these over out of the way for a minute. We got 3 in this pan. Can we got room for a couple more? I think we could probably fit some up in there. We got enough flakes left? Nah, we'll hold off. We're almost out of frost. I don't think we have enough frosted flakes to do another one. So these are pretty big and meaty. 3 ought to be in pretty good shape. I'm just going to set these over here for now. I'll put these in the oven here in a few minutes. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to, all this stuff had raw chicken in it, so you don't want to try to save any of this stuff. So I'm just going to set all these bowls together like so. Move them up here without knocking everything over. Because what we're going to do next, we're going to take this guy. Alright, a couple sweet potato, a couple onion. Alright, so what we're going to do, I'm just going to slice these up. Kind of like a thick potato chip. Don't matter if they're real thick, it's up to you. So what we're going to do, we're going to lay these in this pan, this baking dish, kind of like dominoes that are tipped over. So we're going to have a piece of sweet potato, and then a slice of onion, sweet potato and onion, all the way down through like that. And this is going to bake in the oven. This will take about an hour, as well as that chicken. We've got the oven is preheating to 375. Do this without cutting 13.75 fingers off. Come on, there we go. I didn't want to cut. See if I can get one more out of this without removing a finger. We'll set this off to the side for a minute. We should have enough with this other big potato. Where is he? Right there. So back to what I was saying about traveling. Stuff like that, you know, getting a bathroom break can be challenging. We have driven the whole way in one shot, but we don't tend to. It's a long drive for one person to do, you know, all at one shot, 18 hours. So we usually get a hotel room part way. So, of course, you go in and check in, you know. So Karen will go in and check in and then come back out and get me and whatever luggage we have, you know, and drag us all into the hotel room. And then there's the challenge for me, you know, because a brand new place, I've never been there. So one of the first things we have to do is she leads me around the room so I know how to get to the bathroom or out of the room if I need to, you know, if a fire or something. There we go. And so all the stuff, you know, you don't, oh, that's a thick one. That'd be all right. So all the stuff you don't really think about though, until you put into the situation to have to think about it. Get that guy cut. There we go. That was a little thick. I'm not going to try to. Think I can get down through that? Well, feeling lucky.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I thinned him out, so. Okay, there's that part. And we basically got to do the same thing with the onion. This is where I don't usually have a lot of luck, but even when I was sighted, cutting, if you want to cut these kind of like a slice, like a ring that doesn't come apart, maybe. How's that? I did it. Kinda thick. We can make it work. I hope everybody can hear me all right. I also wear hearing aids, and my left hearing aid decided to go on strike. Well, that one's kind of crooked. And so it's throwing me off a little bit, because I'm going to cut these in half like so, I guess. It's throwing me off a little bit because not being able to see, I rely on sound quite a lot for judging distance. And right now all the sound's coming from this side. So it's a little different. Ooh. Had a good onion, broke him apart. That's all right. We're just gonna lay these in: onion, sweet potato. Oh, I got more onion. There he is. And a big piece of onion. Let's have a big sweet potato go with that big onion. There we go. Alright. That's all sweet potato. That's a piece of sweet potato. The rest of my onion go. There he is. A knife without stabbing myself. Oh. You can see some of the struggles, you know, having to work with limited sight. That's all right. We'll get through it. I probably need an onion I knocked on the floor. I'm gonna cheat. Just stuff that right there. One of these guys in there, and that's pretty much all we're gonna get in that pan anyway. So we get a few more. Just cut this guy up. So I have an appointment this week to get my hearing aid looked at, possibly fixed, or more than likely I'll probably end up getting new ones, which is tough right after Christmas and the holiday season, but unfortunately, insurance won't cover them. I'm 80% deaf in this ear and 50% in this ear. So our lovely government says that I don't qualify because I'm not deaf enough, basically. So we'll get through that anyway. Piece of potato, yep. I'm gonna find a little bit bigger piece of potato. These onions are pretty big, so I'm just getting as much in here as I can because this is good leftovers right here too. Good leftovers, or next morning you chop these up and fry them in some oil or whatever for home fries. I get that guy in there. We'll make him fit. Okay. Pull the rest of this out of the way, we don't need it. Put that there. Next thing we're going to put on this is just a little olive oil, and mixed in with it, of course I mix salt, pepper, and garlic in it, because you got to have all that. We'll just brush a little on top here. If I can do it without making too big of a mess. Lay it right on there, don't be scared of it. Everybody had a good Christmas, I hope. In the bowl, Dave. There we go. Well, we were home, just visiting friends and you know, all my old workmates and all that stuff. Went and visited with my mom and her neighbors, some people that we have come to know and grown fond of. Very nice people. Very nice, you know, retired couple. And they made me a beautiful handmade, hand wood burn sign that says Blind Dave's Kitchen. And I'm sure Karen will show you a picture of that at some point before the video's done. But I just wanted to extend a thank you to Peter and Rhonda for that. That was so thoughtful, and thank you for that. Now, I think we're ready to cook. This is pretty simple right here. This makes a real good dish, side dish. Chicken. I know, I should have a pot holder on. That in there all the way. There we go. Both in there, and the door shuts. I was gonna cook for about an hour. About 30 minutes. We're gonna check the chicken, flip it over, so both sides get nice and crunchy. And we'll check the potatoes. And then when we come back, we'll finish off the potatoes. I'll show you what to do to finish off that. And I'm just gonna make a real simple corn, just canned corn, a little extra in it. So we'll see you in a few. Welcome back, everybody. Been about a half an hour. We just checked the chicken, we flipped it. We checked the potatoes. They're starting to get soft, not quite there yet. So we're gonna let them go for another 20-25 minutes. My Google, which is my timer, has decided to go on strike also. So, okay, Karen, set timer for 20 minutes. What we're gonna do next is, I'm just gonna cut up this onion. In this pan, I just have a little bit of butter, about 3 tablespoons of butter, and can anybody else guess what else I put in there? That's right, salt, pepper, and garlic. We gotta have that. So all we're gonna do is just saute a little bit of onion, maybe 1/4 cup or so. And we're just gonna saute that down till they start to cook off a little bit. And you can cook them as much as you want. You can put them in raw if you want. That's totally up to you. But I just start cooking them until I can smell them a little bit. Then once that's done, once those are cooked, we're going to just dump those cans of corn in there, bring those to a simmer, and let all this flavor wake up with each other, you know, get to know each other, become friends with each other. That's probably a pretty good amount of onion right there. That feels like about 1/4 cup. What do you think? Maybe a little more than 1/4, but that's okay. Dump them in there. I wanted to talk to everybody also while we have a minute. I try not to ask too much, you know, about subscribing and all that. But I would like to ask you to please subscribe. It helps the channel grow. And please tell everybody, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your friends' neighbors, whatever, you know. My hope with this, my goal, like I said, one of my goals is to help inspire people, you know, to try to do stuff that maybe they didn't know they could do or whatever. Try something new. I also would like, if we can grow this channel enough that maybe through fundraisers and donations and things like that, let's go over to the stove and get this started. Don't worry, I already checked, I know it wasn't on. I believe that's the right one. I don't usually use this side of the stove, so we'll find out. So what I was saying, like through donations and fundraisers and things of that nature, I would like to be able to establish some kind of a helpful organization, or help, you know, to help needy families, to help blind families find and acquire tools and services. And it's not that those things are not already available, and they are, it's just everybody is so taxed right now and so behind, and everybody needs help. That I applied in August to continue my mobility and orientation training, and here we are the middle of January, and I haven't even received the tools and things of that nature that I ordered quite a while ago. And I'm not complaining against anybody, it's just the nature of the way things are right now. But if we could come together and help raise money to help these families, maybe somebody has just suffered an accident and lost their vision, you know, maybe it's the breadwinner of the family, or anybody in the family for that matter. But when it comes on suddenly, like it did for me and like several other people that I've talked to, you don't have time to prepare for it, you're just thrown into it. And it can be overwhelming, and it can be scary for everybody involved. And we were grateful and we were lucky that when I went blind, because COVID hadn't happened yet, and you know, things weren't all madness like they are now, and we were able to find some services and stuff to get things rolling. But like I said, I had to stop my training, and now I'm trying to get it restarted, and I'm having trouble. But, so please subscribe, you know, hit that bell notification. That'll let you know when there's more videos come up. Leave a comment. Positive, you know, positive comments are always welcome. Constructive criticism is always welcome. Hit the like button. If you didn't like the video, hit the dislike button. That's okay too. I just was hoping to be able to show people some of the struggles that blind people have to go through, and hopefully help inspire people to get up and do stuff, and don't be afraid to reach out to somebody that you know is disabled. For myself, I was a very proud person, and I didn't accept a lot of help even after I got hurt, but you need it, you know, you need help, and I've been very thankful that I've had great people around me. So,
Go.
cooking these onions, I can smell them. They're starting to turn brown. I can smell it in them. See if I can show you. Can you see? Nice and brown, and good. Feels like the burner. Be close enough. All right. This is just regular old cans of corn. I drained one of them. I have liquid in one, and I drained one, just so there's not so much water in there, diluting the flavor of your onion and your other stuff. There's one can. This guy in there. Need some good mixing around. So don't be afraid to reach out to somebody that you think may be having a little struggle with something. Reach out to them, but also don't, I guess for me it was, don't push. You gotta let people learn on their pace, you know. And I'm not trying to preach or anything like that. Just trying to talk from my experience. And like I talked about before, it hasn't always been easy. Some stuff has come easy. I was fortunate because I was sighted. I cannot imagine being blind from birth, not knowing what colors are or what things look like, trees look like, or anything like that. Okay, we got the corn is in the pot with the onions and the butter and the salt, pepper, and garlic, and that's just simmering over there, getting all cozy with each other. We checked the potatoes. The potatoes are nice and soft, the onion is soft, so what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna cover this up with some cheese. If I can do this without burning myself too much. A little bit's okay, you know, a little burn. Cover it right up, don't be afraid, much cheese as you like. Don't matter what kind, this is mozzarella. Use any kind of cheese you like. We're just gonna stick this back in 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes till all this cheese gets melty. I don't like potholes. I can't feel the dish. I'm afraid I'm gonna drop it. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Going the wrong way. That's all right. Yeah. Get that going. That chicken's almost done. Like I've spoken in the past, you want internal temperature like 165 of your chicken. 170 is good. Sometimes I shoot for around 180 just to make sure the chicken's done. This a stir. You can smell the sweetness of the corn coming out. It's starting to heat up. It's going to be good because there's not too much liquid in there. You can do this with just frozen corn if you don't want to use canned corn. Choose frozen corn, and you can add a little chicken stock to it. Give it a little more flavor. You know, that sodium flavor. So we'll let those potatoes, let that cheese melt. We're going to take that out of the oven, and everything should be done. We'll get it all on a plate, let you have a look. See you in a few minutes. Welcome back. Everything's done. Chicken's done, nice and crispy and crunchy. Potatoes are done. The cheese is melty and goodness. Of course, the corn is done. That only takes a few minutes. So I'm going to head over to the table and try this out. Come on over and have a seat. Find my pantry here. I know my chair's right there. Set stuff down. I didn't even spill my milk. You see that? Pretty good, huh? Alright, here we are. I've been watching listening to other cooking channels on YouTube, and I understand the theory on the end of the video they take a bite or they taste the food. And I've done that with my videos, and I understand why you do that, but what I don't understand is why they would talk with food in their mouth. That's one of the most disrespectful things I think a person could do. But this chicken, the way we made this chicken, it's crispy and it's crunchy like fried chicken without all the oil, you know, and the mess of the oil. Or if you like that, I mean, that's fine. But, you saw how easy it was to make. Not a lot of cleanup. The pan cleans up pretty easy. But I'm gonna take a bite of this chicken. It's still smoking hot, but I want you to hear how crispy this chicken is. This piece right here. Hear that? How crispy that skin is and how good it is. And with those frosted flakes, they give it a little bit of, excuse me, give a little bit of a sweet flavor to it. You can use regular cornflakes too, and you won't have so much of the sweet flavor. And I apologize, I cannot remember where I learned how to make this from. Somebody's made it for me in the past, and I just can't remember. So no disrespect to whoever showed me this recipe. I honestly can't remember. But so there it is. Looks good. Chicken's nice and crispy. Everything's pretty hot still. But my fork. That looks like potato. Let's try that out. Oh, that is so good. I've never made this with sweet potato. I've always made it with regular potato. So we tried it with sweet potato and it's so good. There it is, people. Simple, easy cleanup. I just want to say again, thanks everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for participating. Please consider subscribing to the channel. It doesn't cost anything and it just helps the channel grow. Every time you push the like button, it helps YouTube know that people are watching and people like this type of content. And with your help, maybe we can make something big out of this and we can help other people. So with that being said, hope everybody had a good holiday season and thank you for watching. And remember, if you didn't get it all over yourself, you didn't do a good job. See you next time.